find plastics, you find a whole lot of horror or scary things in our system. So people must be able to interact and differently with their systems as well. But generally, that is what Joburg Water is doing.
And then obviously the educational programs would be available to communities to teach them to actually take care of these scarce resources.
Yes, that is what we're doing. But those programs for both electricity and water are called demand-side management programs, because we need to manage our demand and also the supply part of it. You know, so Joburg Water, all the three entities that are in the department have awareness and education programs that they are doing with communities. We're going to be meeting in a week to finalize the strategy so that we coordinate it and it becomes a coordinated strategy for us to go out as the department, not find Joburg Water going alone in a corner somewhere to talk about demand side supply and demand issues when Joburg Water has the same issues as well. But community involvement and community education remains a critical point in us protecting the sewer system and in us saving the limited resource that is water that we are having.
Absolutely. And I mean, turning the page now to you, Gavin. I mean, you as a private company, you are providing services such as that you provide, and just give us a rundown around maybe one or two examples on the communities that you guys are assisting in coming up with your natural ways of actually dealing with these issues.
Thanks, Sipa. Yeah, just to add on to what the MEC was saying as well is I think people don't understand the extent and the infrastructure that's in Johannesburg. When someone flushes their toilet, no one thinks about where it's going or what's involved to get it to the treatment works. I mean, there are thousands of kilometers of pipeline to get the waste to the treatment works. And that's where we come in, is we focus on the wastewater treatment at the end of the line. So what we look at, especially for the more in areas where there's development, outside of the mainstream areas, where you've got a problem of connecting possibly to either the mega treatment work and the downline, the sewers. So we would be able to play a part and to look at natural oxidation or natural treatment systems, to locate them as close as possible to the communities. So you cut down on those huge pipelines to reduce your blockages. But then also you treat the waste within the community area, and also creating that economic opportunity, because these plants don't need highly qualified engineers, which are a scarcity these days. So you can actually train people within the community to look at those job opportunities, those economic spin-offs that you can create out of the treated water as well.
I was actually keeping a straight face as you were saying. I'm thinking you are in a business, I wanted to say, and now I remember that I can't say it on air.
Well, it's very hard not to say it on air, because that's the business we're in. To be very diplomatic here. I'm trying to be very polite as well.
We all try to be serious.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, I mean, let's bring you in. Craig Nelson, he's a partner in EDS projects, and tell us about just your involvement in some of the communities. Give us an example and that you can give us.
Well, thank you, Sipa. I thought you'd list me out there for a second. But, we're a proud organisation that's proud to say that we're a group of social entrepreneurs. And within that, we always try and find a social angle to matter what project or product we launch into the market. We do food, and just instead of just in the straight supply of food, we create jobs in pack down of food, pack down of hampers, before it gets actually to the community. So there's always somebody earning a revenue in terms of what we do, and it's a great story gaining incredible momentum. And I think it's something that more businesses in South Africa have to start to look at doing and being more socially entrepreneur orientated, because there are lots of people that need jobs. We need to create a second economy, and there are ways. We need to teach profit in South Africa, but we also need to teach skills, and we need to find ways of maybe lessening the profit. And building communities, and that's why we're proud to have partnered with WSE EDS projects on this, because there's lots of social angles in creating that water asset within the community. And obviously we're here to assist. There's lots of opportunities around waste.
Absolutely. Yeah. MMC, I mean, just to bring you back, I mean, how bad is our water situation? Maybe in not only South Africa but in Joburg, do we have enough water to sustain us?
No. We are a very water scarce city. I guess the worst part is that we don't have any big water point like a sea or big rivers. We get our water from the Lesotho Highlands, and there's something that most of the communities do not know. Those who know do not want to believe, and that is the problem. We don't have water, so we have to buy water. So we're buying water from Rainwater. Rainwater gets it from the Lesotho Valley River at Triangle, coming down to our taps at home. So part of the programs that we're having is for us to save water. In fact, SIPO, in 2011, when the term of office started, the Minister of Water had said by 2014, if we don't save water, we're not going to have water. So we've had to ensure that we introduce some of the programs that we've had. And I know we flipped the coin on the pipe replacement is a metering regime that we had to introduce, and it's a big problem that people don't want the meters, because we're introducing the meters for people to control their own consumption, thereby being able to save water. So we need to continue to save water. We managed to pass by the 2014 timelines because we saved quite a lot of megaliters of water. And now we are working against a deadline of 2019. So as we roll out the program, as we change our pipes so that we stop the leaking, as we educate communities not to run their taps, not to allow taps to drip, it's for us to save enough water so that when 2019 comes, we still have water that we can drink. Otherwise, if people still believe that we're getting water from rain, I mean, some people are saying, no, but it's raining. So you can't tell us to have a meter, you can't tell us to actually pay for water because it's God given, which is a misconception, because you can't take rainwater and have a bath with it anyway. It still needs to be cleared, it still needs to be purified, it still needs to be cleaned. And those processes are driven by costs, So we introducing these programs for us to be able to still have water in 2019. We are very, very constrained, so we want people to help us to ensure that in 2019, 2020, they have water. Otherwise, I was saying to some community members, we will be, if we don't save water, sitting in front of our taps and wishing like water would come out. And as a caring government, we don't want our communities to go to that length. That is why we are introducing the measures that we are. They are very painful. People don't understand them. But the end benefit of it all is that we will still have water in the next few years coming.
Wow. Sure. Very interesting indeed. And there's a lot of projects happening. And I mean, for people who are residing where we are broadcasting from around Westbury area, are there projects happening in terms of replacing pipes in areas as well? The
pipe replacement program ultimately will cover all areas in the city, Johannesburg. The focus was in Soweto because when we did our study, we realized that, we have something that is called unaccounted for water. Unaccounted for water in Soweto, we're sitting at about 35%. That is water that gets into pipes. Either we're losing them through our own interaction as human beings with our system, or our own system loses the water. And it costs us billions of money. So it's money that goes nowhere, that nobody can account for. So it was a deemed consumption area. So we had to say what are our losses, and we realized that most of our losses are in Soweto. So the pipe replacement program started in Soweto. We're doing fairly well. It's a bit difficult, but we're doing well. Ultimately, we would want to have covered each and every ward in Johannesburg where we know that we have old pipes, where we know that we've had quite a lot of losses. So we are going to do that. But the city also has strategic areas. You know about the Mayor's Corridors of Freedom, program, and areas have been identified. So we want, when we do high density and developing the transit routes, we should be able to give people water in those areas. Our informal settlements remains an important part. So our programs also caters for them as well, in ensuring that they have water and they have the required amount of water that they have. So the pipe replacement and the metering program ultimately is going to cover each and every area, and every community would have to have experienced and have the benefit of saving water and having water that we can be able to consume in the next coming years.
And I think also sometimes we take it for granted that we can open a tap and drink water from the tap.
Clean water, for that matter. That is the problem. And hence people will tell you about God-given and natural water.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the water that comes out of our taps is not natural water.
Yeah.
It's water that had to be bought. It's water that had to be treated from Lesotho, transported up until it comes to our taps, and that happens at a cost. And I think the problem also that our people don't want to pay for services. That is the most unfortunate part,
true.
Because we're mentioning a story now about a community that was protesting. You want to give people houses, they are protesting because they don't want to pay for rental. That is the bottom line. People are so used to be getting things mahala. They don't want to take responsibility of what they're consuming, which is really very unfortunate.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, very interesting conversations indeed. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Daily Wrap-Up. As promised, we bring you Power-Packed show, bring you Power-Packed guests to make sure that they inform you as much as possible. And this is what we're doing. We're building a better nation. We want our communities to make sure that they understand exactly what is happening in their own communities and around them, and especially in the city of Johannesburg. And just to make this announcement, the State of the City's address is happening on the 6th of May, 2015. The City of Johannesburg Executive Mayor, Councillor Pakstau, will be delivering his State of the City's address. It's called Turning Challenges into Opportunities. That is the theme for this year. The Executive Mayor of the City of Johannesburg, Councillor Mfikoe Pakstau, will deliver his State of the City's address on Wednesday, the 6th of May, 2015, at 11 a.m. at Metro Centre in Braamfontein. The State of the City will reflect on the progress the city has made thus far and the direction that it is taking in implementing the GDS 2040, and that's the long-term plan for the city of Johannesburg. And I think the MMC, because she's doing so many things, she'll also touch on the State of the City's address. Not the details, but just one or two things as to what we can look forward to. This will be broadcasted to various radio stations, community radio stations. There's about 13 of them, and there's about 4 commercial radio stations that are going to be analyzing the speech by the mayor. You can also catch the live broadcast on Soweto TV on channel 251 on DSTV. You can also go to various public viewing areas which are nearest to you. In Region A, you can go to Sarafina Park in Diepsloot. You can go to Pennyville Park in Region B. Region C in Tanzania Park in Cosmo City. Region D, Tokoza Park in Soweto. And Region E in Alexandra at Jaskei Park. And Region F, Jubed Park in Johannesburg. And Region G, Orange Farm in Orange Farm Park. All right, so that's the State of the City's address. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we got to hear what this other comrade was doing on the ground as he was chatting to a few community members, Coffee Finlanders, giving their views. Let's take that break.
As a daily wrap-up show, we are saddened by these attacks committed to foreign nationals. These are acts of criminals, and we condemn this violence against our brothers and sisters. We are all Africans, and we are because you are.
For balanced views, heated discussions, and constructive criticism, tune into the Daily Wrap-Up shows on Mondays to Thursdays, where we bring you a Better Nation Monday. On Tuesday, a brand new show called Lady Power Hour, where we profile powerful, beautiful, and intelligent women. And on Wednesdays, we bring you a brand new show called Dear Businessman, where we talk everything business. And on Lifestyle Thursdays, we talk everything lifestyle.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the most powerful show in this city. Join us every weekday, 7 to 8 p.m. on Kofifi FM 97.2, where it all began.
All right, welcome back to it. It's 25 minutes just before 8 o'clock. And Keda, honorable member, fighter, Democrat, you went onto the streets